the channel. I hope you all are doing well. And today we have here is my Corolla, or my brother's Corolla, which is co-shared between us. And we are out here in the desert, which no one knows about, like a top secret location that every reviewer in around Dubai comes around here and they shoot cars here. So funny thing is that I've been filming I have filmed a couple of videos about this car and it's already out on the channel, but I never really did a proper intro, or like how did this car came to be, and from where I got it, and like what's the story around it. So a funny story is that on a weekend I was sitting doing nothing and then a friend of mine sends a text. He says like, hey, are you looking for a car? I'm like, no, I'm not looking for any car at the moment, because I had the Tercel at the time, and I didn't even have money in my pocket to buy anything. So he's like, no, this car is really good and has like good, like the previous owner has been using it as a track car. I was like, cool, we'll just go and check out the car. And then 5 years, it's been 5 years since I bought this car, and I've had it since 5 years now. And I must say, like, I really enjoy this car. Like how old it is, like how miserable it will make you sometimes for not being able to find parts for it. Like, yeah, you could find parts for it, but then you'll be paying premium for it, so it's not really worth it. It has mismatched interior parts. When I bought the car, it was in much worse condition as it is now. The paint was like non-existent. I believe it was the original paint or so, because it was still the Toyota Maroon or Burgundy or whatever color that is called. And I repainted it to a Luxus RCF. I believe it's called Red Adrenaline or something. And the paint lasted, because it was a cheap paint, it lasted for 2 years maximum. The clear coat is burning off, it's peeling and everything. It needs another paint really soon, which you will get to know about in a few weeks or a month. I'm not too sure. But anyways, so the engine is a 4A-GE 2012 blacktop. I wouldn't call it the most powerful engine from Toyota, but it's still up there. Like the sound and whatnot, and for a 30-year-old engine, it's pretty amazing. So when I bought this car, it had a blown engine, like literal hole in the block. So I had to rebuild that one, or find another or find another engine from the scrapyard. So finding a 4A-GE at the scrapyards, it's not easy, because like I said, it's pretty old engine and it's not easy to come by nowadays. So I told my friend that who helped me sourcing this car, I told him like, do you know anyone who could give me just a block, because I just needed to replace the block. So yeah, he had a contact, and I ended up with replacing 2 blocks, because the first block that I got from him, same story. Rod bearings were gone. They're pretty non-existent. So I had to get the other block replaced it with that one. And having that, because I later on found out that the block that I replaced it with was from a silver top. And silver top, so basically I had was a combination to turbo it. So because the silver top comes with like thicker rods, or I think something like that. So, and I didn't want to go turbo with this one. I needed it to be NA. That's what I had in mind. So I kept on with that engine, because mind you, I didn't have any job at the time. I was sitting idle. I was looking for a job, and money was a thing. Like I didn't have much money at the time. And this car is like the first car that I bought it with my own saved pocket money. So that's why it's still here. It's like it holds a sentimental value to me as being my first car. I used the other engine, the silver top block, for around 2 years or so. Yeah, I used it for around 2 years, and then I on a random day went to the scrapyard and found a engine, found a fresh engine, bought that, put that in, used it for another year or so, and then I decided it's time to rebuild it to freshen up everything, engine wise, because that was it had started smoking, which is the case with every 4A-GE that is out there. So anyways, I rebuilt that. Soon after the rebuild, like I did everything with that, from seal, head gasket, to rod bearings, to new VVT VVT pulley, which is not easy to come by around here. So I was lucky enough to get it. So after doing the break-in, getting over the break-in period, and I thought like it's high time to go and stretch out its legs to freshen it up, like the seals and everything, like to seat it properly. I went out to a mountainous part around here and just to test it out. Mind you, at this point everything was working really well. Like the engine hadn't given me any issues. I did know that, like, the mechanic who rebuilt it for me, he told me that one of your injectors, it's leaking and you'd have to get it fixed, otherwise the car is fine. I was like, okay, maybe sometime down the line I might find one and put it in, but I never did, and stupid of me, I went out to rip on it. And the first pull I did, the first pull that I did, what I hear, rod knock, fresh rebuild rod knock. And I was like 150 kilometers away from my home, and had to call in recovery around 4 in the morning. That was funny. So I had plenty of good memories with this car. You know what's good about the 4A-GE is the trumpets, sound of trumpets. I'll have to turn off the AC for this. Second gear pull. Yeah, just like that. That's what makes this engine nice. The sound, just sound alone, that does it for me. So there you have the pull, and I'll turn the AC back on because as you could see it clearly from the windows, I'm in the desert. Actually, top secret location that nobody knows about. So the seats, old school bright seats, like really nice, and like it hugs me in really well. Like the bolstering, side bolsterings, it's like you sit really deep in the seats. Because as I tracked this car, and I did have the previous seats in, it had little bolstering, but wasn't enough because I was sliding everywhere. So this helps with that. Also, the wheels that I have on it right now, it wasn't my first choice, but I needed those styles. But the color is not my choice. It came with the assets, so, and it stayed like that for the 5 years that I've owned it. I would like to change the color really soon. I would also like to refresh up the paint. Also, my plan with this car is I'll be making plenty of content with this. So I hope you guys don't get bored with it. And I'm planning on doing more track days with it. Honestly, this wouldn't have been possible if my brother was not there with me. Like, we both share the car. We don't have separate cars of our own. We both share this car, and as much as I own this, he also owns it. So yeah. Also, the car already has some mods on it, which I did. Mainly it's just headers and exhaust muffler. Actually, the exhaust muffler came with the car when I bought it. It's a TRD, which is a bonus. And as for headers, I have installed a header from Cusco. I think it's called Cannonball or Powerball or something like that. It's 4-to-1 basically. And that's pretty much it. It's still on stock ECU, which I planned on removing it because it's already ancient technology, so it has to be replaced with modern and bring it into the modern century. Just so you guys can hear the roar of the 4A-GE. Here we go. never gets old. And here are some clips from the outside. That's it guys for this video. If you liked it, do let me know. Let me know what you would like me to do in my future videos. And if you have any comment, do let me know. I appreciate that. And don't forget to share and subscribe with your friends. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.